Hi ladies, hope this finds you well. It's interesting, in Israel and in other places as well, different military operations are given names. And the name of the current war that we are in Hebrew is called Chervei Barzel. Chervei means swords of, and Barzel means iron. So naming a war is kind of interesting, and it gives us a hint as to what is the purpose of the war, what is the strength of the war, how it's going to be fought, what the goal is, something about it to give energy and direction and focus to the people who are fighting the war, which really includes everybody, the soldiers on the front, all the families in Israel, and really all of the Jewish people. So very interestingly, Rabbi Yitzchak Ginsburg, who is a great rabbi alive today, noticed and pointed out that the word for iron, which is barzel, is actually an acronym for the names of each of the 4 mothers who give birth to the 12 tribes. We're currently in the middle of that story with Rachel and Leah and Bilhah and Zilpah. So let's see how we can understand this. So Bet is for, of Barzel is for Bilhah, the Resh is for Rachel, the Zion is for Zilpah, and the Lamed is for Leah. So together, this is called Chervei Barzel. We could say this is the swords of the mothers of Israel who have formed the 12 tribes, the nation of Israel. We are their descendants, and that who is this really that is fighting this war? It's really all of Am Yisrael, all of the people who were created by these 4 women. Now these women, like it could have been named after just Yaakov, after Jacob, but it was named specifically after the women. So we have to understand what is uniquely the power of women. I'm not saying that the people who named this had any sense consciously of what they were doing, but the fact that it does end up being the acronym of those women's names tells us that at some level, someplace, that the women's strength is what is waging this war and what is going to be part of the focus and part of the success. And in fact, I think it really is. We have the soldiers who are on the front. There are women who are in army units for sure, but the people who are behind the scenes, who are at home on the home front and running the schools and running the businesses and keeping their families safe and emotionally secure, dealing with children who are frightened when they are hearing booms in the sky of the Iron Dome intercepting missiles, or when they don't intercept and the rockets fall. How do you keep life going on so that you don't have a nation that is completely traumatized and cannot function? And it's really due to the strength of the women on the home front who are walking that balance of normalcy, but also being prepared to defend and protect their families. We see that was the strength of the Jewish women. And I want to point out just one interesting thing that I learned from Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch in his commentary. Because in this week's Parsha, we see that Jacob and his family are going to meet up with Esau, his twin brother, who last he saw was going to try to kill him. And Jacob is very scared about meeting up with Esau. He divides his family up, but they all end up converging with Esau, and it talks about all of them bowing. Jacob bows to Esau, and then it says that the maidservants who are Bilhah and Zilpah, that they draw near, they and their children, and they bow. And then it says Leah also drew near with her children, and they bowed. And afterwards Joseph and Rachel drew near, and they bowed. But interestingly, in the Hebrew grammar, makes a distinction and says that while Leah did approach, she did not bow. And Rav Hirsch points out that this is indicative of the nobility and the strength of character specifically of Jewish women, but specifically of Leah. And it is from Leah that we have the tribe of Yehuda, of Judah, of which the Jewish people, that's why we're called Yehudim, is we are primarily from the tribe of Judah. And that this represents the nobility of not bowing in the face of danger, but maintaining our strength and our nobility of purpose and our dignity as a people. I think that this is something to give us strength, to give us energy and focus, and as a reminder that we are the Chervei Barzel. We are the swords of that Bet Bilha, the Resh Rachel, the Zion Zilpah, and perhaps the most strength of all coming from the Lamed of Leah, with her descendants of the Yehudim, of the Jewish people from the tribe of Yehuda. May we all have that strength, inner and outer strength, whether we're on the front lines, whether we are dealing with social media, whether we are helping our families, that we are the Jewish people, and we are that strength, that is in fact what this battle is really all about. Thank you.